starting to ease into getting ready to play a big football game on the 26th against the University of Pittsburgh. I'll just open it for questions at this point.
What's it been like for you? I mean, how's the transition gone for you guys, and do the kids notice it?
Much like our kids, I think the initial shock of the announcement and the transition has worn off, and I have eased into this role as the head coach, and I think in terms of their approach and their preparation, it's been business as usual, whether it's been weight room and conditioning or the two practices we had last weekend. It seems like it's a very normal situation right now.
How much prep have you done for Pitt at this point?
This week has been devoted to film study by our assistant coaches. In terms of the first two practices, there was very little Pitt prep. We introduced some things regarding our opponent, but that was just getting them back on the field, getting them back in the flow, getting them back to a point where they can say, all right, this is what we do, this is what we've always done, let's move forward. And we will have an extended week getting ready for Pitt starting Friday night, which will take us into next Thursday's game.
With the coaching change and then a long layoff, at least longer than normal, it's kind of short relative to other bowl games, does it help or hurt? Or how does that play into it, the layoff?
Our guys have finals, and there's no way around that, and we want to give them that opportunity to focus their attention and their energies on doing as well as they can academically and finishing up the semester. Again, it's a veteran group. We've played a lot of football. We just played the MAC championship game. We've got two practices in, and like I said, we've got an extended week coming up with more days than you typically have for a game. So I think we'll be fine.
How will you have the coaches set up? I mean, and I guess what I'm looking at is you'll have Coach Elko and Coach Ruggiero for the bowl game.
Yes.
Will they be up in the press box then like they are normally?
Haven't discussed that, but my understanding is it is this 2013 season. We just won a MAC championship. Had one of the most successful seasons in Bowling Green history. Coach Ruggiero will be in the box, calling plays, running the offense. Coach Elko will be in the box, calling defenses, running the defense. Nothing's changed.
Okay. And so then from there, the other coaches will be in the normal situation, whether they're upstairs or downstairs.
They'll be where they were a couple Friday nights ago in Ford Field against Northern Illinois. I have not contacted our special teams coordinator yet. He's been a little preoccupied, but I think he'll be on the field with me.
He'll be there. Okay.
Right next to me, very, very close.
Very close.
Can you talk about Alex Bayer, coach, picked the East West Shrine game? Obviously, you worked with him a lot this past year.
Worked with him for 5 years. He's a great story. Had some issues early on, and much like a lot of college freshmen, has matured and really become a guy that we can point to and say, this is how you do things. This is how you work. This is how you perform. This is how you lead. And certainly, being his position coach for the last 5 years, I am proud and honored to have played a role in his development, and I'm excited for his opportunity. I know his focus right now is beating the University of Pittsburgh in, I guess, 9 days from right now. But what that game and what that honor represents for him and his future and his dream, I couldn't be happier for him.
Can you give us kind of an idea of what you have seen so far from Pittsburgh? I mean, anything particular? You made the DVDs for the kids, but what the coaches have been looking at?
They're a good football team. That's a blanket statement, but they're a physical football team on both sides of the ball. They're going to try to run the ball. They're very physical up front on defense. They play good people week in and week out. They don't have weeks off, so they are tested. They're going to be a tremendous challenge for us. They're balanced on offense. They want to pound the rock. They got two running backs that average close to 5 yards a pop. They got a big, strong arm quarterback, two pretty good wideouts, and they'll mix it up and create some challenges with some extra gaps. Defensively, what more can be said about Aaron Donald than what's been said through the national awards he's won? He's a disruptive force, and we're just going to have to keep him in check and be able to do what we've done offensively all year that has helped us win a MAC championship. That's be balanced, run pass, control the clock, and most importantly, hold on to the football. We've done a great job with ball security, and that can't change in the bowl game. And they're sound on special teams, and we're going to have to find an edge in that area.
You kind of go with the business as usual, coaches are in the same spot. How important is it to kind of do the same stuff right now in terms of, this has been so much change, to provide stability to the athletes, to kind of let them know that, things are cool, everything's fine kind of thing?
It's crucial. It's the most important thing that what we do here works, and it's a plan and a foundation that was put in place by Coach Clausen, but this staff is going to carry that out, and it's the routine and the process that our players are used to, and this is not the time to change things for the sake of change. What we do works. Nothing's changed. We're going to stick to their routine, a routine that has been successful and won us 10 games this year and won us a MAC championship. So you hit the nail on the head. It's very important. It's probably the most important thing that we've tried to convey to our guys is that nothing has changed across the board.
Right now, do you feel as if this is one of those situations where you have to win to maintain your stake at this job, or do you feel that it's not necessarily, you want to win, but is it, showing that?
I want to win this football game because I'm a competitive man. I want to win regardless of what I'm taking on. I want to beat my daughter when we play around the world in our driveway at the hoop. It's no different. I don't attach much more to it than that. Every time you step on a field with a group of coaches and a group of players that you've sacrificed and committed with, that's your chance to test your mettle against the opponent. So yeah, I want to win this game, but it has nothing more attached to it than just that.
I understand from the scouting reports, though, that your daughter is a pretty good basketball player. Now, how do you fare when you go with it? And I'm being truthful. I've heard people say your daughter's a pretty good player.
She can play. She gets coached by me as hard as Alex Bayer does. I don't treat her any differently. She's pretty good. She's, how do we say, vertically challenged, and potentially will be. She got the short end of the gene pool. My wife and I are not very tall, but she did beat me for the first time around the world, and I was very proud of her because I don't let her win. I don't play that way.
Okay. Thank you. We'll save that for a few years down the road when she's being recruited.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about your job status in terms of the position full-time now?
I am the interim head coach at Bowling Green State University, taking this team into the bowl game on the 26th. That's my single-minded focus right now. This is a great job. Who wouldn't want to be the head coach at Bowling Green? This is the best job in the MAC conference. Our staff, Coach Clausen's program has made it such. We are primed for success right now. We are primed for success in the future. This is a great job.
I think anyone that's been in your situation where you're kind of waiting to see, it's one of those really nerve-wracking situations. You're kind of, at least for me, you analyze interactions. He looked at me funny. What does that mean? Do you find yourself getting into those things where it's on your mind all the time, or how hard is it to just focus on what's going on right now?
It's human nature, but my job is to lead this team, and that's really all I'm concerned with right now, is keeping this staff together, keeping this recruiting class together, and more importantly, keeping our guys focused on what they deserve as a cap-off to their 2013 season.
The fact you guys just came back from Fort Field, does that play any role in familiarity with just kind of the trip and the area and the field and all that, or does it matter?
I don't think once the ball's kicked, that's going to play a role. Not to get Gene Hackman on you guys, but the field's 100 yards long. It's 53 yards wide and change. I think the goalposts are the same height and the same width as they are here, as they are at Pitt's home field. So once the ball's kicked, I don't think that's going to play a role. I will say this, we are 1 hour and change from campus. We are a close drive to a lot of our students and alumni. I think the fan support will be important. And it's going to be hard for our guys when we walk out, I just get goosebumps just talking about it, to not have that rush of emotion overcome them. Because the last time we were there, we experienced a very emotional event. Winning a MAC championship, capping off this season, but really was the culmination of 5 years of sacrifice. Guys like Don Flewellen and Alex Bayer and Boo Boo Gates, guys who were here when we were 2-10. So it's going to be emotional to walk back into that building. And we got to keep that in check on some level as well, because, like I said, once the ball is kicked at 6:01, it's just a football game.
You mentioned right now your goals are keeping the staff together, keep the recruits together. Can you talk a little bit of how that process has gone, with the recruits especially?
It's been great. The message is the foundation of Bowling Green is rock solid, and the reasons you chose BG are still intact and will be. It's a great place with great people, great facilities, great academics, and as I mentioned, you got a roster that is set up for future success. Reception has been great. Parents of recruits, guys committing to us without a head coach in place. Couldn't have asked for anything more. I think it speaks volumes to what this place is about. You know, people feel a connection, and head coach coming in, going out, hasn't changed that one bit.
I noticed in John's article the other day, Chris Kingston getting involved in the recruiting. Is that how active has he been involved in terms of talking to the recruits and
He's been very active. He from the moment he got his job, you can tell that was something that he was going to be passionate about bringing people into the fold, whether it's recruits, current students, getting out there and interacting with our student athletes. It's just who he is. So yeah, he's been great. He certainly has helped us in that regard.
But more so than usual under the circumstances?
No. He's an extreme individual. I think that with all the utmost of respect, that's his personality, and I don't think there's a dial that he has that turns it up or turns it down. It's just what makes him who he is.
We talk a little bit about the coaching staff situation. I mean, I know you don't speak for the coaches, but the sense of, are they still on board with this job?
Without question. Again, this is I'll coach a long time, and I don't know that I'll coach a group like this or be involved with a situation like this where it's more than just the one season. It's a special group of 5th and 4th year guys that believed in us when it was easy not to believe in us, and I think the rest of the staff feels that, and they deserve to go out the right way. And I know that to a man, the coaches in those offices right now are working to prepare and get ready to send these guys out to put the finishing touches on what's been just an unbelievable season.
You mentioned Alex a little bit ago. Will you talk a little bit about the Alex that you've been coaching this year opposed to the guy when he first came on campus? I mean, how's he different?
He's mature. He's a leader. He understands what it takes to be successful. He's got goals and aspirations and understands what he needs to do. Yet I'm not saying Alex Bayer was a bad kid when he got here. Certainly wasn't. He was just young and immature, and that's part of our roles as coaches is to mentor them and bring them along, not just out there on the football field so we can win games, but in life as well. I was telling my guys it's more than just football. some of them attack their steak like they're cavemen. And they're going to be at their girlfriend's house one time, and her father's going to watch them. That's not going to fly. So it's more than football, and with Alex Bayer, it's been no different. It's been one of those deals where it's on the field, off the field, socially, academically, athletically, just a story that I'll tell throughout my career. He's one of my guys.
Will you talk a little bit about the on the field and where he has sharpened his game?
Yeah, part of it is just being in our strength program. Brandon Horgan did a phenomenal job, not only with him, but with our whole team, and that's been evident as we've made this progression from 2 wins to 5 wins to 8 wins to a 10-win MAC championship season. He came in as an athletic, pass-catching tight end. It was hard to envision him as a inline tight end who could set the edge, and he does that now. He's versatile. He can hold the line. He can win out in space. He can vertically stretch the field, and he's pretty good with the ball in his hands after the catch. So it's been a great progression. It starts in the weight room, and it then goes to confidence on the field. And again, couldn't be prouder.
Do you guys have any team plans or anything for Christmas for the guys that can't go home? Or is anyone going home? Are they allowed to?
We'll be in Detroit for Christmas. So those are our plans. I've heard Detroit is beautiful during Christmas time. So that's where we're going. They have a little window this week to get home. If their finals are done, if they've got their lifts taken care of, we'll be back in the swing of things Friday afternoon. So there's a window. I sincerely hope that their families can get up to Detroit and spend the holiday with them. Certainly, if not for the game, or not just for the game, maybe a day or so earlier. We've got some time built in on both Christmas Eve and Christmas for the kids to have some downtime, which would be a great opportunity for them to speak or hang out and spend time with their families.
Well, is there anything scheduled for that day in terms of team stuff?
We have a family Christmas lunch, which will include all the players, coaches, wives, children. Again, just a chance for us to be together as a football family. And then some downtime afterwards where they could spend some time with their families.
The most serious question you're going to be asked today: what do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas?
Yes.
I want a bowl win versus the University of Pittsburgh at Ford Field. End of story.
Done.
We've been
Anything
talking
else?
about
Go ahead.
keeping things consistent, coaches and all that, and I'd imagine after going to the Military Bowl last year, another bowl game that's 2 days after Christmas, and it's almost a carbon copy of last year. So I mean, it's really truly business as usual, as we've been talking about, but even more so to the bowl game.
Yeah, they've been there before. So what it means to get on a bus 3 or 4 days early and live out of a hotel and be able to balance free time and enjoying the experience with when it's time to focus and work. So yes, carbon copy. We're just going to try to flip the score.